hair is a mess. It's been a little while since I brought the bike out, actually a few months. I just haven't been riding the motorcycle as much because I'm loving driving the Audi, but the weather's beautiful today. It's like 80 degrees, nice South Florida spring night. We're here at the Hard Rock, ready to play some 510 No Limit. There is a tournament series going on today, so should be a lot of games. So far there's 3 510 games. Let's see if we can run it up. Let's get down to the table. Let's get to the action. Let's go. The first interesting hand we play, and it is definitely interesting, button opens up the action to $80 on the button over a $25 straddle. Small blind for me, ace queen of clubs. I re-raised the $325. Back over to my opponent who started the hand with around $1,500. So less than 100 big blinds. He elects to just call this re-raise in position. We're going heads up here to the flop. No ace, no queen, but it's pretty good with a 10 high board flopping 2 clubs. We've got the nut flush draw and 2 overcards. Probably the best flop we're going to get if we're not going to flop top pair or a straight. I bet small $200 and my opponent makes a call. Turn card improves us to top pair, top kicker with the queen of spades. This pot's pretty big. If I was bluffing with some flush draws, some ace king hands, I would probably want to apply max pressure to any 10x hands or pocket pairs. So I announce all in for his last $900. My opponent snap calls me. We don't improve to the river, but we do still have top pair, but it doesn't matter. When he shows Jack 9 of hearts for a turn straight, we needed a club and we did not hit it. Right off the bat, we're losing $1,500 in this first hand. Yeah, that's pretty good. Kind of a cooler in a 3-bet pot, top pair, top kicker, nut flush draw versus a turn straight. What's even more tilting is my opponent snap racks up his chips. The very next hand he racks up saying he's got dinner with his wife. There goes my $1,500, no possible way of getting it back. I then get moved over from my seat in the must-move game over to the main game where I'll be for the entirety of the rest of this session. Next hand that comes up, there's a call for 25, a raise to 100, a call 100, ace king of spades in the blinds for me. I bump it up here to $400. The player to my left, who is a tighter, regular professional player, thinks for a little bit of time, looks back at his cards, and then fires out a min 4-bet to $800. This is a very strong play. I could easily be up against aces or kings, but we are playing somewhat short-handed. I just don't think I can ever get away from ace king of spades, 100 big blinds deep, so I jam all in and get snap called. He motions once or twice, and I usually go one time, but given the fact that he snap called me so fast, I feel like I'm way behind here, so I say let's go twice. First flop comes out good with an ace on it, and he says, that board is probably you. Second board comes out all low cards. I have ace high, and we chop up against pocket kings. Usually when I'm playing 510 and I'm filming for a vlog, I like to go one time for the content. I should have went once there. We would have scooped over a 5K pot. Oh well. Next hand, ace queen. I raise to 75. I get 2 callers, and the flop comes all low cards. 6, 7, 8, all diamonds. So I do have the ace high flush draw, but when my opponents check to me, I don't think this is a board I want to be c-betting. They can easily have flopped a flush, 2 pair straights and sets. I don't want to get check raised, so I check behind. Turn card's the 9 of hearts. Now a player leads out for 125. The straddle player calls 125. I'm getting a great price here to draw towards the nut flush, so I make the call. And we do hit a flush on the river. It's the 10 of diamonds. Early position player checks, straddle player checks. I bet out small $200, and I get a call. I show the ace of diamonds. My opponent flashes the king of diamonds and mucks, and we win a small pot. I was hungry, so I ordered myself a Cobb salad. Little fun fact, I've never eaten a Cobb salad in my entire life, and I gotta say, this one looked pretty good, and it didn't taste too bad either. This is a poker channel, not a food review channel, so back to the hands. I've got 10-8 of spades now on the button. There's a raise from the hijack, a call from the cutoff. I call, and the straddle calls 4 ways to a 10-high board. top pair, medium kicker. Initial raiser checks. Now the cutoff player bets out 160. I'm already not really liking this spot, given the fact that the cutoff player is somewhat short stack and he's betting out into 3 other people. However, when you call with 10-8 of spades pre-flop, you cannot fold on a 10-high board. Turn card, Jack of Hearts, overcard, flush gets there. Not my favorite card. He checks, and I easily check this one behind. River card doesn't change anything at all. It's a 3, and my opponent puts out a very small bet of $55. Are we ever good here when he bets 55? I feel like I could turn my hand into a bluff and raise, but that wouldn't make too much sense. I can't really fold a pair for this price, so I make the call and get shown ace-10 for max value from my opponent. Sometimes when the price is right, you just gotta call and lose, and that's what happened in this hand. Next up, ace-2 of clubs under the gun. Given the fact that there's a lot of short stack players less than 100 big blinds, I just min raise here to $50. I get a call from the big blind and a call from the straddle, 3 ways to 10-10-5 with 1 club. When it checks to me, I bet out small again, $55, just about 1/3 size of the pot. Big blind player calls and the straddle player calls. Well, that bluff did not work. These guys are never going to be folding here. Turns a 2, giving me now bottom pair. When they check to me, I decide to just check this one back. And the river now improves me to top pair with an ace. I have what you call in poker 3 pair. I have 2 pair, but the 10s on the board counterfeit me. Big blind checks. Straddle player bets out $110. I don't even think about it for more than a second, and then just make the call because I'm never folding top pair. He shouldn't have too many aces here. Now the big blind springs the trap and raises to $475. Now immediately I just know he either has a 10 or a full house. This player type is never bluffing here and we're just always beat. And it makes my decision even easier when the straddle player calls $475. I fold, and the big blind player shows 10-8 offsuit for flopped trips. I'm going to tell you guys my first world problems right now. So as a poker vlogger or a content creator, whatever you would call it, I have to try to create nice, fun, exciting, cool, new, original content for my poker vlog. Sometimes I go in to play poker and I don't plan on recording. Sometimes I go in and I do plan on recording. Sometimes I'm lucky in the sessions that I do record, they're exciting, big pots, big hands, huge losses and huge wins. Sometimes when I'm not recording, I have huge wins and huge losses as well. And then sometimes a day like this comes out where I do decide, hey, I'm going to film for a poker vlog. I do an intro, I do the setup, I get my camera ready, and then for hours and hours and hours, I just do not play any real big, significant pots with any huge, big wins or losses. And that is how this session is going today. I'm losing very small pots. I'm winning very small pots. We're basically just break even on the day. About 4 hours into this session, I actually thought about just scrapping this one and not posting, but I decided to post it anyways because I feel like this is a great example of how poker is a lot of the time. A lot of the time, poker isn't super exciting, picking up big hands back to back to back. A lot of the time, it's just boring. You're sitting there waiting for playable cards. When you finally do pick up playable cards, you may miss the board, or not hit anything, or hit a small piece, and win or lose a very small pot. So the reason I kept this one, the reason I'm posting this one is I feel like this is just real poker. This is what it's like a majority of the time when you play poker. Not every single session is going to have big hands and big pots, and I feel like it's also a test of patience and discipline as well. In the past, when I've been card dead or spot dead, I've gotten a little out of line. I've widened my ranges, maybe bluffed off a couple $1,000. Today, I'm just trying to stay patient, disciplined, and wait for good spots, which I do end up getting into a great spot here with pocket jacks. Under the gun races is $60. There's 3 calls for 60 before I bump it here to 375 out of the straddle. Under the gun player thinks for a little bit of time, not too long, and ends up folding. Later position folds, cutoff player folds, and now the button with around $800 in his stack announces all in. I snap call knowing I'm almost always ahead here. $1,800 in the middle, running this board out one time. Ace 10-10 flop, not bad. Turn 6, river 9. Should be good until my opponent shows pocket 9s for for a rivered full house, 2-outer there at the end, and we lose around $800. Oh my God. Talk about that patience and discipline. I'm getting pretty tilted right now. I haven't played many hands throughout this 4 or 5 hour session. I was actually up a couple $100 on the night from winning bomb pots and winning some small pots. This one would have been a great one to win. We were way ahead pre-flop, way ahead on the flop, huge favorite on the turn, and on the river we lose to 2 outs. We got to pay this guy over $700. The one good thing is after I doubled this guy up, he doesn't immediately leave like the guy earlier. And another good thing is pocket aces. Under the gun, I raised a 2.5x to straddle, $60. The button player now re-raises me to $160. This guy has been playing pretty solid, pretty snug the entire night. I feel like versus my under the gun raising range, he's going to have a strong hand, so a 4-bet is definitely in store here with pocket aces. I make it $500 to go, and just like last week on my date when I went in for the kiss and got the cold shoulder, we are getting no action tonight. Alright, moving into the final hand. This one, I'll warn you, is not very interesting. Queen 9 of hearts under the gun. This is my very last hand of the night. I know that I'm leaving this next hand. I raised to 60. I get one call from a late position player. We're going heads up here to 10-6-4 with 1 heart. I start out here with a check and my opponent bets out $80. I feel like I could just easily fold this hand. But on this board, he shouldn't have too many strong hands, although he could have some sets. He can have a lot of stabs once I check on the flop. Given the fact that I have some backdoors and some overcards, I put in a check raise here to $300. He makes a very quick fold. We win a small pot, and that is it for us tonight. It's past 1 a.m. I've been here for about 5 hours. I'm going to book a loss of $145. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, something that I haven't done in over 3 years. I want you guys to go down into the comments below, and if you have any questions regarding poker, poker vlogging, life, fitness, anything like that, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll pick maybe 5, 10, 15 of them and answer those questions on my next vlog. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, I'll see ya.